Today we're going to be doing an exam together, and it's for the intermediate rudiments. Now I'm going to be using this 2012 edition from the Royal Conservatory. We're going to be working on the 2011 December exam. We're going to take each question, we're going to do it together, and you're going to see how you should be thinking and to help how you would want to think while you're writing this exam. So let's get started. So the very first question is to write the following intervals below each of the given notes. All right, so let's take a look at the first question. Now remember, you look at the clef. This is a bass clef. We take every note and then every line and space and we count. So this is a line note. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Land it on a D. Now ask yourself, in the scale of D major, always ask the major scale question, would you play a C sharp like that? Now knowing that D major has an F sharp and a C sharp, that's all you would do. That's correct, because in D major you do play a C sharp. Now I'd like to tell each student to invert right away, because the next part of the question, which is for the same 10 points, is to invert the above. In the same clef they're asking you, and then name the inversion. So that means that we're going to flip it. D major was at the bottom, so now let's put D major on top, and C sharp was on top, so let's put C sharp at the bottom. Now we're going to put the sharp, because of course that one was a C sharp. Sometimes, as you notice, the accidental can't go right beside the note, so remember it has to be on the same line or space to know that that is for C sharp. Now let's just say that's 1, 2 now. If you want to just get rid of that sharp for yourself, in the scale of C major, you play a D like that, but that would be a major second. So you see, can you come up here? C to D is a major second. Now we brought the sharp in, therefore now the answer is a minor second. Okay? This is a good way to check your work when you're doing intervals. They have to add up to 9. 7 plus 2 equals 9. Okay, they have to add up to 9. Majors become minors. Okay, and that's a good way to check your work. So if you're not really sure of one question, invert it, and if that one might be a little easier, and then you can see where your mistakes are or if there are any. Okay, let's go back to now this one. They want now the interval below a perfect fifth. So let's count every note, line and space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the scale of B major, would you play an F like that? Now we know in the scale of B major, there's Father Charles goes down and, so there's an F sharp. So to make it perfect, we have to put the sharp in front of the F, because in the scale of B major, we play an F sharp. Let's flip it now. Let's invert it. B's on top. Okay, we'll just take this B, and F is at the bottom. Okay, and it was an F sharp. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 4. And remember, 5 plus 4, it has to add up to 9. Now, perfects remain perfect. Okay, so an F sharp, in a scale of F sharp major, we would play a B like that. So that's a perfect fourth. Diminished fourth, the next question. So it's a G flat. So we're going to count the note. 1, 2, 3, 4. We landed on a D. In the scale of D major, would you play a G flat? So in the scale of D major, as we already said, it has an F sharp and C sharp. That would make it a perfect fourth from here to here. So now we're a half step lower. So therefore, that's a diminished fourth. There you go. You don't have to do anything else. So let's flip it. Let's put the D on top. Okay. And we're going to put the G flat at the bottom. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, just for yourself, take the G away, the flat away. In G major, would you play a D like that? Yes, that's a perfect fifth. Now bring the flat in. That means you're bringing it closer, or further apart, I mean. So you see here, just to show you, from G major to D, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a perfect fifth. Now we've got it close. Oh my goodness, why did I do that? Further apart. So therefore, It's an augmented fifth. Okay? Diminished become augmented. And you see it added up to 9, 5 plus 4. The next one. Next one. They want an augmented sixth. So this is an A sharp. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the scale of C major, would I play an A sharp? No, we would just play a natural A, so this is further apart, so that's already an augmented sixth. Let's invert. Let's put the A sharp at the bottom. Well, you can take it here, or you can take it here. Let's take it to this A sharp. Okay, and let's put the C on top. Okay, so that is already 1, 2, 3. Now, for yourself, remember, get rid of that sharp. In A major, do I play a C like that? Okay, let me just take you up here just to make this a little clearer. In A major, we know we play a C sharp. So that would make it 1, 2, 3. That would make it a major third. Now this is, so if a normal C that is being shown down there, major, that's a minor. Now the question is A sharp. So therefore it's diminished. And diminished always is 2 half steps apart. So from A sharp, 1, 2. So from A sharp to C is a diminished third. Okay, augmented sixth becomes a diminished third. Augmented become diminished. And just the very last one, a minor second down. So we're going to do it side by side because you can't, there's no room to put it underneath. So they're side by side and they're touching if they're harmonic. In A major, do I play a B flat? Okay, so let's in A major. In A major, for a second, I would play a C sharp. So let's take this A. In A major, okay, for this is B though. Would I play a B like that? That would make it a major second. But it's a flat, so it's a minor second. So that's already done. It's already a minor second. So let's invert it now. Let's put A on top and the B flat at the bottom. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plus 2 equals 9, so we know that's correct. In B flat major, do I play an A like that? Now in B flat major, we have a battle ends, B flat and E flat. So yes, we would play the A like that as written. So that makes it already a major second, and minors become majors. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next question, and that's about rests. So here's the first question. 2 over 2. So I always tell the students, draw what we're creating. So here, there's 2 beats in a measure, and we're creating 2 half notes. So let's make the 2 half notes. Okay? So we always have to complete the beat. So we have an eighth. Half of the dot beside the eighth is always half of the value of who it's beside. So obviously that's a 16th. So draw the same type of rest as the note it's beside. So now 2 16ths make an eighth. So here's an eighth, and that eighth only made a quarter. But we need to make a half. So what do we need? We need a quarter. So he's done. Now we need to complete him. There's only a quarter. We put another quarter rest in front. We completed him. Okay, so that question is now done. Oops, a mess. Okay, the next one. Again, we're still creating the 2 half notes. Now we have here a triplet. So in a triplet, always just count the first 2. Like, don't count him. He has to be played, but you don't have to count him in your rests for your timing or how to complete the rest. So 2 quarters make a half. So he's already done. Now we just need another half rest, and that question is done. The next one is 6 fours. Now this is going to be in compounded time. So remember, compounded means there's going to be a 6, 9, or 12 on top. So what are we creating? We're creating 6 quarters. Now in compounded time, remember, it's always groupings of 3. So here we have 1 quarter. He's done. So half of a quarter is an eighth. So what do we need to complete him? Another eighth. So those 2 eighths made him. And here is, so that's 1, 2, 3. We have a quarter here. Now here in compounded time, we have to combine beats 1 and 2 because the strong can carry the weak. Now that's done. Same thing, we're just still doing 6 quarters. All right, that's what we're creating. We've got 1, that's done. Beats 2 and 3, can we ever combine beats 2 and 3? No, so we need to keep them separate. So 1, 2, 3, and this final grouping, only in the compounded time and only in when it has a whole grouping can we use a dot, okay, because it completes that whole grouping on its own. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, done. The next one here, we have 9/8. So what are we creating? 3 groupings of 8s. Okay, always try to draw what you're creating. Makes it simpler, then you can always erase that. This is a duplet. A duplet I like because it already means 1, 2, 3. So that first grouping is already done. Now let's look with what we have. We have 2/16, which is an 1/8. So he's done. Now those 2 8s, remember we have to combine in compound time beats 1 and 2 for that grouping. So what do we do to combine? We have here, there, a quarter rest, because an 1/8 note's getting 1. So 1, 2, 3. Now we just need this by itself. So it's a whole grouping on its own. So that's where we would use a dot. Here's a whole measure of nothing. Whatever happens in a nothing, always remember, a whole rest, no matter what the time signature is. A whole bunch of zeros are zeros. So don't fill it in with a bunch of fancy rests. A whole rest covers a whole measure of nothing. We're still here at 9/8. Let's quickly draw what we're creating. Okay, so here we have one of the 8s. We have a dot. So a 16th and a 16th made him, and we just needed one more 8th. Let's see what we have here. 2 32nds made a 16th. You see the 2? So a 16th and a 16th made an 8th, so he's done. We complete him for 1, 2. Another whole grouping on its own. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3/4. What are we creating? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so here we have an 8th. Let's see first what we have. We have a 16th and a dot. So those 2 16ths make an 8th. So an 8th and an 8th. Oh, he's done. What do we have? Always take 2 of something, see what they make. So 2 16ths made an 8th, 2 16ths made an 8th. Those 2 made him. And we just are missing the quarter for beat 2. If I'm going too fast, you can always rewind. Just showing you how we'd be doing the exam and how to think it through. Beat 1's done. Okay, now beat 2's got 2 32nds. What do 2 32nds make? A 16th. So always use the same type of rest as the note is beside or who they've made. So we need another 16th then. All right, so now 2 16ths make what? An 8th. So we still didn't make a quarter. So now we're going to put the 8th. Beat 2's done. And for this beat 3, here's a quarter. Okay, so we've got beat 1, 2, 3. And we're making 3 quarters. Still the same. 1, 2, 3. He's done. Beat 1's done. Oh, there's an 8th. So we use the same type of rest. 2 8ths make that quarter. Here's an 8th here. We need another 8th to make a quarter. And voila, we're done. So the rests part of the question is done. Next part, the next video is going to be on the triads. See you soon.